Today, another match preview right here on the channel. We took care of business on Saturday against Real Valladolid, 3-0 victory, Mbappe hat trick. But it's already time to look towards our next match because on Wednesday in the Champions League, Real Madrid will be taking on Sydney Sweeney FC. And this is the final game of the UCL league table right before we enter the playoffs and then the knockout rounds. Now, you guys already know what I'm about to say. This is a must-win game. We got to go out there and get the dub. And it's not because I think that we could possibly make top 8, because for me, those dreams are over. We're just going to need way too many things to go right for us to finish in that top 8. But there is a chance. But the reason why this is a must-win game is because we've been trash in the UCL this entire season. Like, this new league format, I like it a lot. And I did not think that we would have struggled the way that we have this season. So we just got to go out there and absolutely dominate Brest just off principle. We've already qualified for the playoffs, right? We don't have to worry about missing out on that at least. But I'm annoyed at how low we are. But regardless, man, look, big game. And I'm super excited for it. I think, the UCL on Wednesday is going to be crazy. All the games are going to be kicking off at the same time. So a lot of people are going to be looking at things and it's just so much different possibilities, right? Like, where is everybody going to ultimately finish? But look, I need you guys to smash that like button, get in the comment section, right? I need you guys to also subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you are saying for this match. And then at the end, I will be building my expected starting 11. All right? So, look, let's just get into it because it's a lot to talk about. Now, looking at Real Madrid, right? As I said, we have been trash in the Champions League so far this season. I mean, I got the table here for you guys right now, and you see the first 13 teams, and you realize that the kings of Europe are not even in the top 13 heading into the final match day of the league standings. Now, let's scroll down because you see Real Madrid right there at 16th, basically middle of the pack. And that describes how we've been this season in the UCL. Mid. You know what I'm saying? In 7 games, we've won 4 times and we've lost 3. We've scored, 17 goals, only conceded 12, plus 5 goal difference. It's not good enough. Now, as I brought up, there is a very, very slim chance that we can still qualify for top 8. What we would need to happen is we would have to absolutely violate Brest. Like, we would have to beat them like 7 or 8-0. I'm talking about a historical kind of ass whipping they got to receive. And then we would also need teams like Bayern, Dortmund, Lille, Villa. We would need them to lose. So we're asking for a lot. And this is why I've already kind of just come around to the idea that we're going to be in the playoffs. Now, what's interesting on Wednesday is finding out who we more than likely will be going against in that playoff round right before the knockout stage. But regardless, I still expect us to be in the round of 16. I'm not even entertaining any conversations about us possibly not making the knockout stage of the Champions League. I refuse to believe it. And if that happens, Carlo must be sacked. So, look, it is what it is. But here's how the Champions League table has looked for us so far. Now, looking at the bread and butter of the season, which is the league, we are top of La Liga right now, right? We do have a title race on our hands. We're not like Barcelona fans. We're not going to get carried away and say that it's over. But I believe that we control our own destiny in the league. I cannot see us losing it from here, right? Atletico Madrid, we don't take you serious. You guys are frauds. There was no chance that Antoine Griezmann was going to win a La Liga trophy. Like, let's just be for real now. As far as Barca are concerned, they won the league back in October. So them being down there in third, no big deal for their fans, I guess, right? But Now, look, the league is starting to heat up as well, right? Real Madrid are finding their form on a week-in, week-out basis. So I think, again, this game against Brest, I need you guys to get in the comment section and let me know what you're saying. Because on one hand, I want to predict an absolute trashing that we should be giving them. But on the next side, I'm thinking, well, when have we really trashed teams like that? This season, to be honest, right? But here's how our form is looking, right? So we just played Valladolid, right? 3-0 win. I'll talk about that game in a few seconds. But before that, right, we played Salzburg. We won 5-1. And I know that on paper, that scoreline looks like we absolutely cooked them. But if you would have watched that game, then you would have realized that we didn't really play that well, at least in my opinion, right? Maybe somebody that's watching will disagree. But a game that we did play really well in is Las Palmas a few weeks ago. But nonetheless, if we're just looking at what's been going on in the Champions League, we've lost to Liverpool, we've lost to AC Milan, we've lost to Lille. Those were the 3 L's. Now, the 4 dubs that we've had was Atalanta, Dortmund, Stuttgart, and Salzburg. So I know that I've been pretty critical of how we've been in the UCL this season, but to be fair, we've had a pretty tough league phase of the tournament. Like, I would say we've arguably had maybe the hardest run-in, aside from maybe like a team like PSG, because they had to play a lot of big teams as well. But it's still no excuse, right? I definitely expect us to still be able to beat these teams, right? Because we are one of the favorites of this tournament every single year. But I think we do have to acknowledge that it's just been a tough UCL run so far. But whatever, man. Now, I do want to talk about the game against Valladolid really quickly, because this is the last game that we played. And we know that Mbappe scored a hat trick, right? This guy's form is ridiculous right now. And he's returning back to France for the first time since signing for Real Madrid to play against a League One competition. So let's be real. We know what he does to those French defenders. Mbappe is the nightmare that they all have. So with the form that he's on, I'm definitely expecting Mbappe to have a big game, right? But let's be honest, right? This game against Valladolid was dead. Like, it was a boring game to watch. I don't think that we played that well. Aside from Mbappe, nobody else really impressed me like that. So, look, I'm hoping that we can have a better performance than that against Brest come Wednesday. But, yeah, look, let me know what you guys are saying about Real Madrid, right? Let me know what you think about our form heading into this match. Now, let's talk about the ops, right? So, Brest, they are a team who I think have been one of the surprises of the Champions League so far, right? You see the table right here, and they are in the top 13. They are the 13th place team in the league table. Now, if we beat them on Wednesday, then we will go above them. But for right now, we do have to give them a little bit of credit. Now, I don't want to give them too much credit because their Champions League run has been super easy. But at the same time, it's still impressive for a team like them who are not the biggest, don't really have any star players, right? We're going to look at their squad in a little bit. I can't name you one of those guys. To be honest, I don't know them. So to me, they've had an easy run, but it is teams that are around their ability, if that makes sense. So, you know, in their 7 games, right, they've won 4 times, they've drawn once, and they've lost twice. Now, they haven't beaten any good teams in the UCL, right? Their dubs came against, if we look at, actually, you know what? I'll look at their form in a second, right? But here's what they're doing in Ligue 1, right? They are sitting 8th, which, in my opinion, and maybe you could tell me because I don't watch French football at all. Like, to me, that league is trash. I'm not interested at all. But maybe you guys can tell me if this is around where they should be. Like, was this the expectations for Brest heading into this season? Now, as I was saying earlier, right, just looking at their form in the UCL, because I don't care about what they have going on in France, just talking about the Champions League, they haven't beaten any good teams, right? Like, they just lost to Shakhtar last week. Then before that, Let me see, make sure I'm not missing nothing. Yep, before that, they played PSV where they won 1-0. They lost to Barcelona 3-0. They also beat Sparta Praha. Now they got a draw against Leverkusen in the UCL. That's an impressive point to take away, right? Because Leverkusen, champions of Germany, play some good football. Xabi Alonso, right, with Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, Nathan Tella, Granit Xhaka, Piero Hincapi, Jonathan like all these big players. So that to me is a good point for them. But that's the only really impressive thing, in my opinion, that they have done in the UCL, right? Because they beat this team called Sturm. They've also beat RB Salzburg, who we just slapped up. So unlike us, where we've had to play some of the top teams in Europe, right? Like we've had to play Atalanta. We've played Liverpool. We've played AC Milan. They've not had to deal with that. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, let's look at their squad really quickly. And if any of you guys out there watch Brest, please tell me who are the players that we need to be worried about, right? Like, who are the guys that are carrying them so far? Because when I'm looking at this side, I'm not really familiar with any of the names here. So I'll scroll through it just so that, in case any of you guys recognize somebody, then you can let me know. But they do have quite a few injuries that I'm seeing on Transfer Market. And we can actually check out what injuries they actually have. And it is a lot, to be fair, right? Like they're saying, so Jordan Amvi, he's out until February. Same thing with Hedera. Yeah, man. Quite a few injuries. So they're going to be coming into this match not at full strength. And, it is what it is. Now, let's go back to Real Madrid because the major update that we have for you guys in terms of players missing this game is Vinicius, right? He will not be available for this match. He picked up a yellow card against Salzburg. So that means that he is suspended for this game. Now, after this match that he's going to miss, Vinicius will be back and he will be available for all of our games after this, but he won't be available, right? So, it does hurt us a little bit, but at the same time, I still think that we're more than capable of going out there and absolutely dominating Brest, to be honest. Now, looking at the other players who are not going to be available, right? Camavinga, I believe that he's still dealing with an injury that he suffered after we played Celta Vigo a few weeks ago. Eder Militao and Danny Carvajal, they are both done for the season because they both tore their ACL. And as I said, Vinicius will not be available for disciplinary issues, right? So let me know what you guys are saying about the injuries. But let's get into my favorite part of the match previews, and that is building my expected starting 11. Now, we're going against Sydney Sweeney FC, a.k.a. Brest, right? And we have to go pretty strong for this game because even though the chances of us qualifying for the next round in terms of top 8 are pretty slim, you still have to try. So I have us going out there in the 4-2-3-1, and in goal, I'm saying Thibaut Courtois, right? Man like Courtois will be in goal. I think at right back, we will go Lucas Vazquez. He did not start against Valladolid, right? We did play Raul Asensio out there, and I believe that Asensio did a good job. But I think when it comes to a must-win game, especially against a team that's inferior to us, when we should be dominating possession, I do think that he will start Lucas Vazquez in a game like this. Now, at center back, I'm going to go Raul Asensio at right center back. Now, I don't know if he's in the database yet. To be honest, they're not going to add him in the database this entire season. Let's just be real, right? The guys at lineup builder, they're sleeping, okay? But I think Raul Asensio will be the right-sided center back. He must start this game. Now, at left CM, we are going to go man like Rudiger, of course. I know some people might say David Alaba, but David Alaba has only just returned from his injury a few weeks ago. He's only played, 3 games so far coming off the bench. You don't want to risk him just yet in the starting 11. His time will come very soon, but he should not be starting this game. Now, at left back, I'm going with Fran Garcia. I think Fran Garcia is our best option at left back in games like this where we're going to be dominating the ball, where we should be dominating the ball, and we should be on the attack for 90-plus minutes. We need to try and score as many goals as possible. We know Fran Garcia is very good overlapping, getting involved in the final third, putting the ball into the box, and linking up with whoever that left winger is. So this is how I think our back line should look. Now, moving into the midfield, I think Dani Ceballos will start this game, right? Dani Ceballos has been really good lately. I mean, like, this guy's form has been amazing. I have to give him a lot of credit, right? Dani Ceballos is a player that I don't even rate that much, but he's proved me wrong, right? The way that he brings stability into that midfield with his technical ability, right? He's very good on the ball, decent passer as well, and he does the basics at a very high level. And he's on some good form right now. So I don't see how you drop him, especially in a game like this where we need to be dominating the ball. Now, next to him, I'm going Valverde, right? I don't think that anybody has any questions about if Valverde is going to start. This man does not get a rest. Are you kidding me? Valverde will be out there, one of the best eights in the world. I have no problem with that. Now, let's go to the right wing, where I think he will start Arda Güler, right? He's lately been going with Brahim Diaz on the right, but Brahim Diaz, in my opinion, has been very underwhelming. So I don't think he should be starting Brahim Diaz again. That's just me. Arda Güler should be starting these games. I think that Brahim Diaz is better coming off the bench. Brahim is better as the impact sub. Arda Güler is the best option that we have on this right wing, even when everybody is fit and available, because he is a natural right-sided player. So he's able to give us balance versus when Brahim's out there and he's over here, or sometimes Brahim's right here. Same thing with Rodrigo, right? When Rodrigo starts on the right wing, he does that same stuff as well, right? Like, you'll see Rodrigo right here. You'll see Rodrigo over here. No, bro, we need somebody that stays out wide. Arda Güler is the answer to a lot of the problems that we are having on that side of our attack. Now, in the 10, I'm going with Jude, right? I think that his form lately has been a little bit better, has been chipping in with some assists. His off-the-ball work rate is amazing, as always. And for me, he needs to be starting this game, and I'm looking for him to get back on the score sheet. And I've just been happy with Jude in general this season, just to be very honest with you guys. Now, on the left, because there is no Vinicius available, you guys already know we got to go with Rodrigo, right? Rodrigo on the left wing is a monster. Now, he was very mid, to be honest, against Valladolid, which was surprising. But before that game, he scored a brace against Salzburg in the Champions League. And then against Las Palmas, the game before that, he got 2 assists and got a goal as well. So I would still say that Rodrigo is on good form, even though against Valladolid, he was non-existent from the left wing. But this is his best position. And whenever Vinicius is not available, Rodrigo needs to be starting. So I have him on the left. And then up top, we got the best striker in the world, okay? Man like Mbappe, who's going to be returning to France, and he's going to be slapping up these French farmers. This guy cooks Brest every time he plays them. I expect him to score a brace or a hat trick on Wednesday. We will be there, chat. So, again, let me know what you are saying for my expected starting 11. Right, guys? Get into the comment section. Let me know what you're saying. Give me your score predictions, right? Make sure you guys smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel as well. And we should be doing a watch-along for this game live on the channel. You guys do not want to miss that. So make sure that your post notifications are turned on as well. Big up the damn chat every single time, man. Holla Madrid!